Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Priyanka Kaur. I am Assistant Professor in Economics, GDC Kusai Kheda, Unnao, Uttar Pradesh. The topic of today's lecture is Big Bang merger a solution? The government on August 30, 2019 unveiled a mega plan to merge 10 public sector banks into 4 as part of plan to create a fewer and stronger global size lender as it looks to boost economic growth from a 6-year low. As per studies conducted until now, most of the mergers done in the past have proved to be an overall success for the weaker bank, although there are no concrete parameter to verify this observation. Hence, going by the track record, merger and acquisition in Indian banking have been fruitful for the Indian economy. History of merger in Indian banking. Merger of bank began in India in 1960s in order to bail out the bigger bank and protect the customer interest. The first bank in India to be nationalized was the Reserve Bank of India, which happened in January 1949. Further, 14 other banks were nationalized in July 1959. While the next phase of nationalization saw six other commercial banks were nationalized in 1980s. Consolidation of SBI in 2017. This phase saw five associates of SBI and Bharti Mahila Bank getting merged in SBI. The vision was to have a strong bank rather than having large number of banks. This resulted in SBI being one amongst the 50 largest bank in the world. Merger of banks in 2018. The government had merged Dena Bank and Vijaya Bank with Bank of Baroda, creating the third largest bank by loan in the country in 2018. Mega merger of banks 2019. With the mega merger announced on August 30, 2019, 10 public sector banks will be reduced into 4 large banks. The 4 set of banks are to be created out of Canara Bank and Syndicate Bank merger, Indian Bank and Allahabad Bank merger, Union Bank of India, Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank merger, and the bank to be created after merged of Punjab National Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, and United Bank of India. 6 banks untouched. The mega merger has left untouched 6 other banks, out of which 2 are national banks and 4 have a regional focus. The untouched banks are Bank of India, Central Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, UCO Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, and Punjab and Sindh Bank, which will continue as separate entity as before. India has 12 banks now. The biggest overhaul in public sector bank has left India with only 12 banks now instead of 18 before the decision. According to the government, this decision of making large entities will make the Indian bank capable of meeting the higher funding needs of the economy and will help in curing the global scale. This is the bank ranking order after merger. फर्स्ट और among them नंबर 1 पर है स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया और एट नंबर सेकंड पीएनबी प्लस ओबीसी प्लस यूनाइटेड बैंक एट नंबर थर्ड एचडीएफसी फोर्थ बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा फिफ्थ कैनरा एंड सिंडिकेट बैंक सिक्स्थ यूनियन प्लस आंध्रा प्लस कॉरपोरेशन बैंक सेवेंथ आईसीआईसीआई बैंक एट्थ एक्सिस बैंक नाइन्थ बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एंड टेंथ इंडियन बैंक प्लस इलाहाबाद बैंक rupees 55,000 crore recapitalization plan with mega merger. The Finance Minister of India has also announced a rupees 55,000 crore recapitalization plan for the banks formed after merger. Besides capitalization will also be infused to the 6 other banks which are not the part of this merger. Bank recapitalization. What share banks got is there. Punjab National Bank got 16,000 crore. Union Bank of India 11,700, Bank of Baroda 7,000, Canara Bank 6,500, Indian Overseas Bank 3,800, Central Bank of India 3,300, UCO Bank 2,100, United Bank of India 1,600, Punjab and Sindh Bank 750. Advantage of bank merger. Large banks is capable of facing global competition. The merger will reduce the cost of banking operation. Merger will result in better NPA and risk management. Merger will help in improving the professional standards. Decisions on high lending requirements can be taken promptly. Provides better efficiency ratio for business operations as well as banking operation, which is beneficial for the economy. Minimization of overall risk is there due to merger and acquisition, which is always good for the business point of view. Lead to increase in profitability and help in raising the standard of living, which is absolutely crucial for the growing economy like India. Chances of survival of underperforming banks increases, hence customer trust remains intact, which is vital for the economy. The weaker bank get merged into stronger and get the benefit of large scale operation. Large size of the bank will help the merged bank to offer more products and services and help in integrated growth of banking sector. In the global market, the Indian bank will gain greater recognition and higher rating. With the large capital base and higher liquidity, the burden on the central government to recapitalize the public sector bank again and again will come down substantially. Multiple posts of CMD, ED, GM, and zonal managers will be abolished, resulting in substantial financial savings. Bank staff will be under single umbrella in regard to their service condition and wages instead of facing disparities. Now, problem arising due to merger and acquisition in Indian banking. Most of the problem arising due to merger and acquisition are more emotional and social in nature than technical or managerial. The major problem which arise are compliances needed in every decision, which might not be favorable as thinking perspective and risk taking abilities of different organizations are different. It leads to friction and rift, which, it, if not managed well, may lead to the downfall of the organization as a whole. Banks are merged only on paper. Their people and culture are difficult to change. It is a recipe for disaster as it leads to poor culture fit not ideal for the organization or the economy. Risk of failure increases if the executives are not committed enough in bringing the merger platform together for the merging and taking over bank, such as failure may prove brutal for the economy. Impact of customers on banking merger or acquisition is often quite emotional. If customer perception is not managed with frequent and careful communication, it may lead to loss of business, which is never good for the economy. Managing Director of Federal Bank, W.A. Joseph, is the view that coexistence of a big, medium, and regional bank would be preferable in the present scenario. According to him, most acquisitions in order were born out of compulsions, and over 90% of past acquisition and had failed to achieve the objectives. Many banks focus on regional banking requirement with the merger very purpose of establishing the bank to cater the regional needs is lost. Large bank size may create more problem also. Large global bank has collapsed during the global financial crisis, while smaller one had survived the crisis due to their strengths and focus on micro aspects. With the merger, the weakness of the small bank are also transferred to the bigger bank. So, for small scale losses and recapitalization could revive the capital base of a small bank. Now, if the giant shaped bank book huge loss or incurs high NPA is as it had been incurring, it will be difficult for the entire banking system to sustain. Important but to remain under watch. Merger are important for the consolidation and expansion purpose. That is why in today's scenario, many private sector banks are generally interested in merger and acquisition. They are also crucial for economy as they are most of the time successful in saving weak bank which fail in meeting expectations. Merger creates a variety of problems which can cause greater damage if the process of merging is not executed properly. If merging is needed, it must be executed in a manner which leads to an environment of trust and agreement among the people of both the organizations. If people work culture and visions are blended together nicely, merging will definitely have synergic effects and create a win-win situation. Thank you. If there are any query, please ask on comment section. I will reply. Thank you so much.